Hey folks, welcome to After Still Standing. In this episode, we're going to take a look at Bamfield, British Columbia, and find out what happened to the town in the years after Jonny Harris visited in the TV show Still Standing. I'm going to have a chat with Clement and Rose Janelle, and we're going to find out some cool things in addition to what happened. Like, did you know there are whales and sharks in the inlet? And you'll find out if the road went through, and all kinds of cool things. So, I hope you'll join me. I have a bunch of questions.
Yeah, go for it.
It's been 12 years since the show, right?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the math the other day.
Yeah. And I think in the show, you said you had been there 6 years.
Yeah,
So you've been there almost 20 now.
yeah, it's like 18 years that I've lived
Yeah.
in Bamfield.
Um, is this going to be the rest of your life now? Like,
I don't know. Maybe they didn't really. Well, I mean, even in the show when they asked me that, I was like, yeah, I was supposed to be here for 4 months, and
yeah.
I'm still here 6 years later, and it's like now it's 18 years later. So
Yeah. For those watching later, you work at tell me, what's the full name?
at the Bamfield Marine Sciences Center.
Yes. And what do you do there?
Nowadays, I drive boats. I'm a boat
Oh,
captain.
that's cool. Um,
Yeah.
to teach or give tours or what?
A little bit of everything, yeah. So we have scientists that come out and they have studies that they need to perform. So maybe we're going out and collecting water samples, and I just
Okay.
drive the boat to the coordinate they tell me. Or sometimes we do
Uh,
tours. We go out and do little fishing trips with the students, like high school students usually.
sure. That sounds
Yeah,
really, really
all
cool.
kinds of different. That's very cool.
Do you, and I haven't looked at a map, sadly. Do you go like right out on the ocean or do you go in bays and stuff?
It's usually pretty close to shore. It is on the ocean,
Okay.
but it's like right at the edge of the West Coast. So
Right.
open Pacific Ocean is right there.
Wow. That's really cool.
It's very cool. And we have a lot of students that come from places in the interior parts of Canada that don't have
Right.
access to the ocean. So they get to see it sometimes for the first time.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a neat job for sure. And so obviously that's why I've stayed as long as I have.
Right. Yeah. Why would you do anything else?
Right, exactly.
So, at the end of the episode, I had a whole bunch of questions. Something that was talked about was whether or not to put in the road, and you told me a little bit in an email. Uh, but at the time, there was 150 people, um, and Mark said in the episode that there used to be more. So the town size fluctuates, obviously. How many people live there now?
I think it's probably around 300, 350 these days.
Okay, so
Yeah.
much bigger than before, but still pretty small.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the road eventually went in, right?
it did. It's
Yeah.
not fully paved, I guess. It's chip sealed,
Oh,
um,
yeah. Okay.
but it's not gravel anymore. So that's a
Right.
huge change.
Yeah. Do you want to tell me the story of why it happened?
Yeah, in 2019, there was an accident where a bus was driving to Bamfield and it unfortunately rolled off the road, and two students passed away in that accident. And that
Okay.
was kind of the final straw that led the province and the Huayet First Nation in our area and
Mm-hmm.
the citizens of Bamfield to kind of take a closer look at the road and what it was, the condition of it. And so they eventually were able to put in uh, that road as a result of that accident.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Hmm.
It's a sad reason for it to have to happen.
Yeah.
Um, did they put the road all the way around so you can get to the other side of the inlet?
No, they didn't. So
Oh,
West Bamfield is still isolated. You
that's
still have to
interesting.
take a boat to get to West Bamfield.
Yeah. Related to boats, there was the boat that came. Well, how often did the boat come, or does come, to bring
The
stuff?
Francis Barkley.
Yeah. Does it still come,
It still comes.
even though there's the road?
Yeah, three
Okay.
times a week, just the same as it did in the episode of Still Standing. It's a lot of the same crew and everything, so that
Is
hasn't
it?
really changed.
Yeah. Is it just as important, or does the road now get
Absolutely.
some stuff?
Yeah, the road does change the ability of people to go back and forth for sure. I go to
Yeah.
town a lot more and get groceries, but it's the Francis Barkley still supplies the stores with groceries. The mail still comes by boat. That hasn't
Right.
changed.
Okay.
And it still carries passengers and people back and forth.
You
Actually,
know.
last summer we had a forest fire that cut off
Oh.
access to the road. And so we
Okay.
went back to being kind of boat access only
Right.
and logging road access only for a few months, actually, last summer. So, yeah, it was great that that lifeline still exists to have the Francis Barkley come and deliver
Yeah.
supplies for us.
I assumed the road was the logging road improved. Are there two roads, like the new one and the old logging road?
It's the same road has
Oh,
been
okay.
chip sealed, but there's a whole series of logging roads in the woods back there. And so you can go, a
Uh,
secondary route that is still a gravel road that
yeah.
can take you out of Bamfield.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um. So I'm curious to know what happened to everyone I got to know in that episode. A particular question I have. You mentioned that John Evans has passed away,
Yeah.
and in the episode, he said he wants his ashes shot out into the ocean.
Uh-huh.
Did that happen?
It did happen.
That's fantastic.
So we used the cannon. I was actually, unfortunately, away when they had that
Oh,
celebration of
okay.
life for him, so I didn't attend myself. But that was what happened. So they made a little canister to hold his ashes, and they just kind of fired it out to sea in the cannon. Which,
that's
yeah, that's
that's
pretty
amazing.
great. So his wish was fulfilled.
Yeah.
And I believe he
Um.
was 94 maybe when he passed away just last year or something.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
he had a good long run.
His house was amazing. Who lives there now?
His son still owns the house.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Um. You mentioned in an email that Mark has passed away.
Hmm.
Um. Who moves people around now in the taxi?
We have two new water taxis in town, so that service still exists.
Oh, okay.
And Mark's boat is still in town, the black and white checkered taxi, although it's
Yep.
no longer actually used as a water taxi
Okay.
these days. It's just driven privately by somebody. But there
Okay.
are water taxis that you can call, and you can go down to the dock and
Uh,
call them up. They'll come pick you up at the dock and take you across because West Bamfield is still boat access only.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Um. There's an island near my home that has no cars, and they have the world's only 24/7, 365 horse-drawn taxi.
Horse drawn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So at 2
That's
a.m. on
neat.
Christmas Eve, you can call and they will come get you.
No.
I don't know where they'll take you because nothing's open, but it would
Yeah.
work.
Huh.
Um, Ken Scarlin is also gone. You said.
Yeah.
Um, it's when I watch the shows, I think these people look middle aged. They look my age, but that was a
Yeah.
long time ago, and like I sort of expected John to be gone. He was old in the
Right.
episode,
Yeah.
but it's always a little. I don't know. It's you look at life a little differently when you see people so alive and healthy and happy, and then realize, oh no, they're gone.
And I didn't
So
realize either until you asked me about those people, and I thought, well, it's one, two, three,
yeah,
four. Like a lot of them are not here anymore. That's
yeah,
a lot can happen in 12 years, I guess.
it really can. Rose is still the postmistress.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I still need to get a hold of her.
Yeah.
She seems like a fun person to talk to.
Yeah,
Um,
she's great. So, yeah, I would say just call up the post office one day and see if you
yeah.
can chat with her. I did tell her about
Um,
you.
oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, in the episode, she said she was oyster fishing. Is she still doing that?
No, not anymore. But
Okay.
her and Ken did have an oyster lease years ago back in those days. And yeah, that was one of their ways that they made their money before she was postmistress
Yeah.
and kind of during
Yeah.
postmistress times too. But
Yeah. Like the way she said it, it made me think that a lot of people do a lot of jobs to stitch it all together.
absolutely. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to piece it together. So we live out here in the edge of the world, and it's hard to make a living in a lot of cases. So yeah, if you have to
Right.
do a little fishing on the side, I mean, I've worked in the general store on the west side for a few
Oh
years,
yeah.
few summers back in the day. I've helped harvest seaweed. I've done various jobs at the science center, all kinds
Yeah.
of different things just to make it work.
That's cool. Speaking of seaweed, uh, what's up with Louis Driel? Drool?
Louis
Drool.
has recently moved away from Bamfield, and it just is a matter of being so isolated and not having access to healthcare out here. So he is
Okay.
in his 90s,
Yeah.
and yeah, he just needs more to be closer to doctors, I guess.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
sadly, his house is up for sale.
Does he still live like in the West Coast and near home and
Yeah,
stuff, or is he
on
returning or something?
Vancouver Island still.
Okay, that's cool. You know,
Yeah, he's not too far.
I didn't look at the map. What is at the other end of your road when you take the road out?
There's a town.
Where do you go?
It's called Port Alberni. So
Oh, okay.
it's a town that I don't actually know the population. I want to say it's maybe 15,000 people. I'm
Okay,
not exactly sure though.
that's a pretty big town.
Yeah.
Um, I grew up near a town of 500 and now live 5 miles from a town of 200. So uh,
Right. Perfect.
15,000 sounds enormous to me.
Yeah, it's very big. And it's funny because when you talk to people from Port Alberni, they say, "Oh, well, this is such a small town." It's like,
Yes.
No, actually it's not."
Yeah. Yep. Um, Brian McKay still doing his boat thing.
Yeah, Brian's still around. He's still got the
Okay.
lodge on the west side.
Yeah.
They're just gearing up for busy season now because tourism is about to pick up for the summer. So, yeah, Brian's
Yeah.
still at it.
I was going to ask about tourism. In the show, they mentioned that tourism is a big thing. Where do people stay? Like, how many people come? Do you get 10,000 people in the
There
summer?
are, yeah, there's a lot of lodges throughout the
Okay.
town. A lot of them are in the west on the west side. So Brian's is one of them, but there's lots of others.
Right.
And I would say in the summertime, it wouldn't be unusual for there to be 1,000 people in Bamfield. So it
Okay.
does grow pretty significantly in the summer months. So
Right.
June, July, August.
Do you
Yeah,
have businesses and shops that are only open in the summer?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, restaurants. So now we
Makes
do
sense.
have a
Oh.
few
Oh.
restaurants in Bamfield,
Fancy.
which we didn't have during the
Right.
episode. John Evans said there's a lot of going to dinner at other people's
Right.
houses. So now we actually do have restaurants. They're only open sporadically throughout the winter, but in the summer they're open daily. So
What
that's
kind of restaurants? Like little mom and pop things or?
uh, sort of a mix. So they're kind of interesting. There's one called the Wreckage, and
Okay.
it's right on the boardwalk in West Bamfield, and it's just it's kind of built on a pier. It's on pilings over the water, and it's just a really
Okay.
small, quaint little venue. And it's all local people that run it, and
Right.
they do really great food and great cocktails, and then they have music nights or trivia nights or
Yeah.
lots of fun things to bring the community together. There's another restaurant in West Bamfield now called Flora's, and
Okay.
they've rebuilt an old derelict building in West Bamfield has been totally
Oh.
redone, and they've put a restaurant in, and there's it's an inn too, so you can rent rooms
Okay.
there to spend the night. So there's two restaurants in West Bamfield, and then on the east side of Bamfield, there's a restaurant that's attached to the store, the market on the east side is operated by the Huu-ay-aht
Okay.
First Nation. So there's also a restaurant there. And occasionally even there's a pub that opens too.
Wow. That, that's
Yeah,
a lot more
so
than I
that's a lot of
expected.
options all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But only in the
Uh,
summertime. It's a lot, it's
yeah,
very patchy throughout the winter.
sure. Um, I was a little surprised during the episode when he said there were no restaurants because, I mean, even in my town of 200, we have a little breakfast cafe where, people get together and stuff.
Yeah,
So it kind of makes me happy that you have some now because it
we
sounds
do.
like it'd be fun to get together with your friends at a place like that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So that's one example of some growth that's happened in 12 years for sure.
Sure. Yeah. I don't have any more questions, but if there's anything you have to tell me, I'd love to hear about it. Like, what's town life like? People happy there?
Well, I mean, one of the things that resonated with me last night when I was watching the episode again was John Evans actually commenting, if they put the road through and RVs and
Oh,
things come through, we'll be finished.
right,
And that is definitely something that is happening now. Obviously, the RVs can't get to the west side, but
right.
there are lots of RVs that come now to stay on the
Okay,
east side. And
right,
one of the businesses that's really benefited from that is Pachina Campground, which is operated by the Huu-ay-aht First Nations.
right. Yeah.
So they've actually put in more campsites. They did a big expansion of their campground and added, I'm not sure how many extra sites, maybe like 50 extra sites.
Oh, wow.
And it's full all summer long. There's families and people camping out there all summer long.
Okay.
So that's a difference for sure. Good for them because they
Yep.
are obviously making more money now as a result of that. And some of those people are coming and, spending money at the stores and doing tours, taking the water taxi, going to the west side. And so there is
Sure.
some extra influx of money in the community in the summertime for sure.
Yeah.
But one of the downsides of now the road is accessible for anybody. You don't need a special vehicle to be able to drive the road anymore. You don't need a 4x4 truck.
Right.
And so now, I mean, we see people that come down just for the afternoon from Port Alberni. Oh, I just wanted to go for a drive. And
Yeah.
they're, cruising around town. And on the west side, because many of the lodges are on the west side for people to stay, they
Yeah.
park their vehicles on the east side. So
Oh,
now you've got cars just parked
parking lot.
all along the sides of the road. There's nowhere for people to park because we weren't
Right.
really poised for that kind of growth all of a sudden. And so in the
Right.
summertime, you've got basically single lane traffic because there's cars on both sides of the road and just this narrow little spot that you can
Right.
drive
Yeah.
through. So yeah, we weren't really
Wow.
ready for that. The other thing we weren't ready for with an increase in tourism is we don't really have public bathrooms. Like that just
Oh,
was never a need before. But
right.
all these people that come for the day are
Right.
like, oh, where can I go to the bathroom? You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so all that said, is Bamfield finished?
I don't think it's finished, no.
Yeah.
So as John Evans said,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's finished. It's still pretty quiet here in the wintertime. Um, but it has changed. It doesn't have the same quaint little vibe that it did back in
Mm,
2012, um,
yeah.
or 2014, 12 years ago,
Yeah.
whenever that was,
Yeah.
2014. Yeah, there's a little bit less of I would say there are more people that live here now or that own houses here now, but don't actually live here. So a lot of the
Yeah.
properties are kind of empty through the winter, but
Yeah.
occupied in the summer. And that just
Yeah.
changes the community a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a community near me in Michigan that has 200 or 300 people in the summer and has one in the winter.
One. Yeah.
One. Everybody leaves.
Yeah.
I remember Brian and Corey were talking about how they were pro roaders because they wanted the tourism,
Yeah.
which makes sense because they were in the episode. Their job at the time it looked like was was managing tourists, and
Yeah.
that would be good for them. So I'm happy for them.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes
Works for
both
my time.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely pros to having the road improved. Um, I know I personally, it's so much easier to just drive to Port Alberni and pick up some groceries where it used to be this whole
Yeah.
ordeal of driving the road.
Yeah.
It was like 2 hours of potholes and there was nowhere safe that you could drive that wasn't potholes. And it's like, well, if
Right.
I veer this way, it's potholes. If I veer that way, it's still potholes. Like there's nowhere to go.
Or you wait for the boat.
Yeah, or you take the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
that's a
right.
lot nicer.
Well, I really appreciate you talking with me. This has been
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm
something I've
curious
been.
to see what happens with this.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this for maybe a year.
Hmm.
After every episode, I turn to my wife. I'm like, I wonder what happened.
Yeah, yeah, and it would be cool to follow up with a lot of the
Yeah.
small communities that have been featured in that show.
Yeah. Yeah. A
Yeah,
lot of the ones that are near to my heart, there were several where he goes to an indigenous community and there's
yeah,
4 old people who still speak the language.
yeah,
And they were old 12 years ago.
right. So
I
I
want to
wonder if
know.
they're still around. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Did the language die? I know a
Exactly.
lot of the
Yeah.
nations are around here are working to preserve the language, recording it
Mm-hmm.
and making sort of a digital library of that while they can, while they still have those elderly native language speakers.
Right.
Uh, and so some work is being done for sure, but I don't know if that's true across Canada or
Right.
anything. Yeah.
Well, keep an eye on the space and I will go find out.
Yeah, that sounds great. And I know that Rose really wants to invite Jonny Harris back once our community hall is built
Yes.
and finished, which it might still be a few years down the road, but
Yep.
she would love to organize something like that. So we'll see if that happens too. Maybe we
Yeah.
can spur CBC to do a follow-up
Yeah. You know
episodes.
what? Now that you mention that stuff, it makes me think of other questions. What was it like having a show come to town and record people and
Oh my gosh. We were super nervous. They
yeah.
basically said, Kelly, you do this because nobody else wanted to do it. And they were like, you're fine in front of the camera. You can do it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, sure, whatever. And and we were really nervous that he was just gonna make fun of us
Oh,
for being out here in the edge of the world and
right.
we didn't know what to expect because we were the first episode. So we didn't have previous ones that we could watch to
Yes.
kind of get what the
Yep.
whole how it was going to play out. But he was basically in Bamfield for about a week, 5 days or
Okay.
something. And he just toured around and interviewed the different members of the show, as you saw, and
Hmm.
spent a few hours with each of us. And it was amazing, actually, how much he got to know the community
Yeah.
and the ins and outs of it. And then he put up a stand-up comedy show at the end of it. We all gathered at the fire
Yeah.
hall and he put on this show for us and it was great. I thought he did such a good
That's
job of
cool.
it.
I
Yeah.
have been very impressed by how much he remembers of a week of conversations with strangers
Yeah. Yeah.
standing up there. It's really impressive.
It was. I was impressed at his skill to be able to put that show together in such a short amount of time.
Yeah. He seems like a really nice guy and I'm glad to learn that he is.
Yeah.
Um, that's
Yeah,
cool.
so maybe he'll come back one day and we can do another episode. But we'd have
Yeah.
to have some new faces, I guess, since so many of the
Well, it sounds
originals
like
are
you have
not
twice
here.
as many faces as you had before.
That's true. It might have a whole lineup of people wanting to be on the show.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been good talking to you. I'm glad we were able to work this out.
After talking with Kelly, I had a great chat with Rose.
Morning, Topher.
Hello.
You can hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Perfect. Nice to
And
meet
your
you.
hair looks great.
Thank you. I did the best I could this morning. I was out partying last night.
Aha. Well, I did as
Aha.
well.
Excellent. Good music, good company.
Good. Where do you go for fun?
Well, that's part of the new stuff that's come to Bamfield. We have two new places in town on the west side. We've got the Bamfield Inn, which opened up, a great restaurant and great place, great accommodation. And then we've got my favorite haunt, which is called the Wreckage. And it's a little diner, bar, kind of cool place where there's lots of live music and open mic nights and stuff. A lot of local really music here. Yeah, it's great. Very cool. Yeah. Your background looks way better than mine. I had to put the blinds down. It's so sunny here.
Yours looks great.
Yeah, you get a view of the kitchen. That's about it.
Yeah. There could be worse things.
Yeah, I haven't learned to manipulate the backgrounds yet. I kind of like to have a windy lighthouse scene.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just not that techie. I'm surprised I even got on the meeting this morning. I was a bit worried about that. I'm not very clever that way.
But well, it's working great so far.
Yeah. Well, I spent the better part of the week sifting through our newspapers. We have a Bamfield newsletter that comes out every month, and just kind of refreshing over the last 10 years. And I was amazed. I came across stuff I'd forgotten completely. So I hope I can answer your questions.
Oh, I'm sure you can. I talked with Kelly, and she gave me a lot of just information about what people are doing and what's going on and things like that. And what I really want from you is perspective. You live on the other side of the inlet from her.
I do. West is best.
West is best? Great.
You can edit that out if you want.
Oh, no. So I have a couple questions. John Evans said that if the road went through, it would be the end of Bamfield. It did. And
a lot of us had that feeling.
Yeah. It did go through. Do you feel like it was the end? Or is it just different now?
Just different. It's quite different. When you make things easier for people to get to, you get a different range of visitors. They go from the real hardy, intrepid ones that would make that drive down the bouncy, terrible gravel road. Yeah. And it was sort of a bit of a badge of honor if you accomplished it and made it back in one piece without at least one flat tire. But now anybody can breeze down the road. It takes maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Very few potholes. The ones that are there are terrible. They'll take your front end off.
Yeah. I live in Michigan. I know a lot about potholes.
I'm sure you do. It's not all smooth sailing over there either.
No.
But it's a different kind of person.
Yeah. But you have a cool place to go listen to music now than you didn't before. For me, it's just a breath of fresh air to have that ability now, because when the community hall, when we lost that, and that was about 2010, I think, roughly. Okay.
It took away that one place we had in the village where everybody gathered for everything, whether it was potluck dinners every month or the spring hat dance or Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of those things. It brought everybody together. It wasn't just a community hall. It was a church, a baptismal, a wedding place. It was everything to everybody.
Yeah.
And it took quite a few years before there was enough money to do things with and availability of space. Because little villages like this are it's mostly homes, mostly little houses, and cottages and stuff,
Yep.
It was a fishing village and a logging village. So post-war houses were brought in on barges, and it's got that wonderful haphazard architecture to it.
Yeah. The road does not go to the west side, as I recall.
Nope. And hopefully it never will.
Do Do you get 100% of your supplies from the Francis Barkley, or do they come sometimes by truck to the east side and you hoof them across the inlet in a little boat?
That hasn't really changed that much. I think except for business owners who now find it easier. Yeah. The east side business owners now find it easier, but we almost lost our boat service back in 2022, I think. The people that owned the Francis Barkley, the Lady Rose Marine Service, decided they weren't making enough money and they were going to sell it or close it down. So there was a major hue and cry over that. Yeah. And we were blessed to have this wonderful man, Greg Willman, who came along and at the last minute, the 11th hour, just put in a bid for it and said, I'll buy it. We'll run it.
Wow. Did he buy the company or just the Francis Barkley?
He bought the whole kit and caboodle.
Wow.
I know.
That's amazing.
And he's just one of these amazing, humble, modest people. You would never, to look at him, you wouldn't think, oh, here's a guy that saved our bacon,
Right.
But
does he live in Bamfield?
He has a residence here. He runs his other businesses out of Nanaimo. Okay. But he has a home here on the boardwalk, which in fact caught fire last year. And
his home on the boardwalk?
On the boardwalk, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was quite an event. It took those boys, the fire department, 4.5 hours of pumping water from the fireboat to put that thing out. And it was the dead of summer. So forest fire was definitely an issue. Yeah.
Wow. In the show, you mentioned that you were doing some fishing on the side. You still do that?
Did I?
It was mussels, shellfish.
We had our family had an oyster farm for a while.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm way too old for that now. No, that has since been let go, and thank God for that. 10 years of slugging oysters and digging clams was more than enough for me. Yeah. More than enough. Yeah.
You're the postmistress.
I am.
Do you love it enough you think you'll do it till you die, or?
It's looking that way.
Yeah.
I'll be 74 this year, and I can't see any reason. I can't see any reason to stop.
Sure.
If my mental acuity drops below a certain level, I'm sure I'll be encouraged to go home and have a cup of tea. But so far, so good.
Well, that's good.
And it's I think it's a role that I fell into in a way. I've always known almost everybody in town, but the post office is where you keep people connected, in spite of the fact that they think that mail isn't important anymore. It still really is.
It really is.
And I know the U.S. Postal Service is going through issues with that too.
Sure.
How do they keep delivering to the many small communities that are spread out over such a huge country? And Canada's even has more problems because we have less people.
Right. Yeah.
It's a big territory.
Yeah.
And Canada Post is going through some changes right now, so we'll see how that goes, but I think they'll keep me.
Of course they will.
I'll fight for it.
Something else I wanted to ask, and feel free to tell me you don't want to talk about this if you wish. Do you want to talk about Ken?
Oh, absolutely. We celebrate him twice a year, full pull.
Twice?
Once on his birthday, once on his death day. Yep.
All right.
We usually gather on the boardwalk and crack the top off a bottle of scotch and tell great stories. It's something that I've always felt comfortable with. I like to celebrate people that have passed, no matter how long it's been. I think it's important. It keeps the stories going, keeps the memory alive, and you don't forget those people that played such a huge part in helping each of us individually stay put here in a tiny little village, had kept the economy going, kept our lives full of interest. And to me, it's important to celebrate. Yeah. And even when, I think it was in June was the 10th anniversary of Still Standing, and they put a lovely memorial to Ken in there, which was quite nice.
Oh, that is cool.
He was a larger than life character.
Yeah, he seemed like it.
Yep. Yeah, you can tell by the laugh.
Yeah. In the episode, there was a celebration of life, and I know John is gone, and Ken.
Yep. And Mark Laws.
How many parties do you have in a year?
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be a comfortable thing for people to do, and I think it makes people less uncomfortable with the idea of death. It's enjoy one another for as long and as hard as you can while we're here on Earth, because who knows where you're going next,
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that you have the good memories.
Yeah, I think there's three from Still Standing. John Evans, of course, who passed away, must be almost 2 years ago or a year ago, maybe a year ago. Ken passed in 2020. Okay. And Mark Laws, the taxi driver, he was a part of it as well. And he passed away 2 years ago. Yeah.
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 I've interviewed several people now for this thing I'm doing. And with a show that happened 10, 12 years ago and interviewed people who were old at the time, I'm finding more and more that many are gone. And how surprised people are to look back and go, oh my, we've lost quite a few,
Oh, at the post office, you're constantly reminded, because when a person here dies, they don't just die and everything goes away. Their mail continues to come. You're helping people deal with estate stuff. It's a nonstop process. So for me, it's always on the calendar. And I have a habit of, I have everybody's birthday on my desk calendar, everybody's death day. And it's just a nice thing to remember somebody, and the impact that they had on our lives,
Sure.
It's like every spring when the Purple Martins come out, we think of Mark Laws, because he was the one that built all the Purple Martin boxes all the way down the boardwalk and made their little nests for their babies and, chased away the starlings, stuff like that.
That's really cool.
And we still shoot John's cannon off for any possible excuse.
Sure. Yeah. Who wouldn't?
And usually on Ken's birthday, we have a poker game. And everybody that comes to everyone who comes to the poker game dresses like him, because I know his style was so unique.
What was it like? I saw him in the show, but I don't remember anything other than like jeans and a t-shirt. What did he dress like?
Jeans, Viking socks over top of the jeans with boots.
Okay.
White t-shirt, Stanfield sweater, and a head wrap.
Okay. Yeah. I remember the head wrap.
Yep, and that was him. Even when we the coroner took him into Port Alberni, and I met up with his sisters and his family up there so they could say farewell. And we had dressed him in full Viking gear when he left here. And when I got there, I noticed something was off, and I pulled back the sheet, and they'd untucked his pants from his socks.
Oh,
and
no.
I tucked him back in. The funeral director, she goes, oh, no, we just adjusted that. And I said, nope. And I said, this is the way he goes. It's signature. And I turned around to his two sisters. They went, it's signature.
Yeah.
So,
that's funny.
I know. Well, like I say, he was a larger-than-life character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good to celebrate.
Yeah. I don't have any more questions. Is there anything you want to tell me?
Well, I wondered if you wanted a list of the things that had changed since then. I wrote down a few of them.
Yeah, go for it.
And this is in the last 10 years. This is there's some things I've missed, I'm sure. But to start it off, and of course you'll have it recorded here, we had the introduction of fiber optic service here. which
Oh,
was a
that's fancy.
really big deal. Yeah.
I don't have that.
Ta-da! Still standing.
Yeah.
The renovation of the Bamfield Inn, which if you went back and looked at the film, you might see it it was probably still pretty decrepit at the time, but it's been renovated and restored to its original beauty. It's quite something. And of course, the wreckage. We had the road paved.
Yep.
We broke ground for the beginning of our new community hall in 2022.
Okay.
We managed to get a grant for 1.3 million, and we were able to get a crown lease from the government, and that gave us 2.5 acres at the top of Centennial Park on the east side. So we didn't have enough money. We only had $500,000 in the bank, but with the grant, that gave us 1.7 or something, or 1.8. Yeah, we couldn't afford to buy property as well as build. So
right. For those of us who are ignorant Americans, what's a crown lease?
What are they worth?
No, what is it? What is a crown lease?
A crown lease is a piece of land that is basically the property of Canada, but you can ask for a section of it and lease it from the government.
Gotcha.
So that you could do, but you have to really tick off a lot of boxes to be permitted to use a crown lease for your own personal stuff. It has to have a lot of good reasoning behind it, and we ticked off every box. Yeah, so we have a 100-year lease for $10.
Nice.
Not a bad purchase.
Not a bad purchase.
No. So, and then we have it at lockup now. It's an absolutely astonishing building. At some point, I'll try and get some pictures to you. I don't know if that's of interest to you.
Sure.
I'm not sure where you're going with all this stuff. It's interesting to me. I'll have questions for you.
Sure.
Anyway, moving along from that, we survived COVID, which, tipped the whole world on its ear and made us all more grateful for one another's company, I think.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm a very quiet person, actually, outside of my post office stuff. I read more books that year.
Do you feel like Bamfield people were safer from COVID because of the remoteness?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
And everybody, we had our anti-vaxxers here and our, the same as you do anywhere else. But no, everybody got through it pretty well. I don't think we lost anybody to COVID. A few people did get sick, and I've had it 3 times since, and I still get all my shots and boosters and stuff. But the people that I knew in the city that got sick with it, you could see where it would have been helpful to have a vaccine, in my own personal opinion.
Yeah,
I think it could be a very tough thing to survive, more than the flu. What else have we got here? Wildfires are a bigger issue. We've had a couple real close to town that have been, our temperature, our climate is definitely changing. So we're advancing our wildfire response systems. We've got 2 new fire trucks, more volunteer firefighters, more first responders. We got an ambulance. Little things have been moving along. What else have we got? Oh, we saved the Francis Barkley from disappearing.
Yeah.
We have 2 water taxis now. Not just one.
Okay.
What else have we got? Eileen Scott turned 104 last week.
Oh my.
I know.
Wow.
We have one really old person living here.
Sure.
We also got a wastewater treatment plant, which went in, which was really nice. That was about 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
Okay.
A leap in school enrollment from 9 kids to 45.
Oh my.
That was kind of nice. And this year, I think we'll have 6 babies born, which is the first lot of babies that I've seen for quite a while. It seemed we were sort of almost turning into a retirement community, And then we had this wonderful influx of young people who wanted to stay, marry, have children, start businesses. So that's been really nice, very refreshing for people.
Yeah, that's great.
Property prices went up, as they do.
Yep, they do.
That's kind of a mixed blessing because a lot of times when property prices go up, more interest is generated in people who have that kind of income where they can afford to have a place that they don't actually live in. So a lot of our places in Bamfield at a certain number of years were being purchased by people who didn't live here. And that has a huge impact on how a community this small runs. Because you need volunteers and you need people to participate. And if they're only coming up for 2 or 3 weeks a year, it's kind of sad, especially when you need housing, same problems everybody has all over the world. It changes. What else have we got? Our First Nations, the Hawaiian First Nation, they have increased the number of residences in the village of Anakla, which is huge because they're getting a lot of their members come back to work jobs and stuff. And that's been a tremendous thing, along with the Truth and Reconciliation and treaties changing and being signed and stuff. So everybody's kind of advancing at the same speed. It always seems to take so long to do this. And then you look through a pile of newspapers for 10 years and you realize how far you've come.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And that's a mini roll.
That's really great. That's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff. I was impressed. Post office got a paint job.
Excellent.
Yeah, that took me a while to get used to. I'm a bit of a stick in the mud sometimes when it comes to change. But I think that's just because I'm getting older,
Yeah. I was telling somebody the other day, something I would love to see is a director's cut of the stand-up show. Because in the episode, we only get like 10 minutes of his stand-up.
Yeah.
And
it was a great show.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to see all that.
It was absolutely fantastic. That's something you would probably have to contact CBC about.
Sure.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to participate in that because it really brought everybody in the community together for a great laugh at ourselves. And it really reminded us of why we were here, why we came in the first place, why we stayed, and why we're going to stay. And I think that was such a gift, I mean, people at first were nervous about, they're going to make fun of us, this little backwater town, are people going to look foolish on national television? Nothing of the sort.
No.
Nothing of the sort. Just a lot of laughter. And we still laugh about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to ask, what did you think of the episode? What was on TV?
Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I've watched almost every single one in the past decade. And I still, not just because I'm from Bamfield, but I think the one that they did of Bamfield was probably one of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard that it was the first one filmed.
It was the pilot.
Well, I know it came out first, but I always wonder, do they film 5 of them and then pick the good one to do first or not?
I don't know.
But it would be...
I'm not sure, but we were the first episode filmed.
Yeah. It was just thinking about it, I think how unsure everyone must have been. Them, making the thing. Is this going to be any good,
Well, it wasn't the first time for me to be approached, because when it all started, CBC called me because they had spoken to somebody else, and they said, talk to Rose, she'll connect you with the people that you need to connect with. So I just assumed that was my role, and it was giving them names and connective numbers for people that I felt would be interesting for what they were looking for.
Yeah.
but it turned tables on me.
Yeah. You're not the first person to tell me that either.
Nope.
Somebody thought that they were just facilitating, and oh, look, I'm on TV.
Yep, exactly. Well, I remember I can't remember when the show was playing, but I was in the kitchen cooking dinner, and Ken was, I don't know, playing poker online or something. And I heard his laugh in the background, and I looked at him, and I was like,
what's he laughing about?
What the heck? Because the TV was on in the back room.
Yeah.
I went in there and went, dude, we're on TV.
That's funny.
Yeah. Every once in a while, we still get together. I've got the hard copy from CBC, and we just plug it in and play it for everybody. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Listen to his laugh.
Yeah.
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 Well, unfortunately, we're suffering through the end of a week of sunshine. Looks like perhaps more to come. What can I say?
Such a hard life.
Whales in the harbor and way too much sunshine.
Oh, I was going to ask you, what do you get in the inlet? Do you get dolphins? Do you get sharks?
We get sharks. Actually, there was a really unusual shark swimming right in front of the post office last summer. He was there most of the day. I can't remember what the name of that shark was. It was a big guy. Probably about 10 or 12 feet long. It was big.
Wow.
And we get whales. A lot of whales
really?
in. Yep.
Okay.
They'll follow the feed. It's about 90 feet deep through the center of it. It's a fairly deep channel. If they went way up the inlet through the narrows, they could possibly get stranded at the end, but we've never had any situations of that.
Gotcha.
But they'll follow the feed in, like we've had squid and herring come through in the last month and a half, so they're just following it in. Yeah.
What kind of whales?
We've had killer whales. We actually had last year, the year before, I think there was about a small pod, maybe 4 or 5 killer whales that came in chasing a seal and did the old kill the seal thing in front of all the horrified tourists. Oh, that poor little seal. But, they were teaching the young whales. And I've had gray whales and not often gray whales, but come into the harbor and sail down. Mostly humpbacks.
Okay.
And they'll come and just lay beside the dock and just hang out. I know.
Wow.
Yeah, that's 40 feet away.
Great to see.
It is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they interfere with boating at all?
Sometimes, yeah. We've almost collided a couple of times over the years with whales because they just come up,
Sure, yeah.
And it's a lot of debris in front of your boat, so you don't want to hit it.
Yeah. And you're in their way.
Yep, pretty much. They have the right of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of wildlife out here. Lots of bears, cougars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And every kind of fish you could dream up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps life interesting.
All right. I think I'm going to wrap this up.
Okay.
I really appreciate you talking to me. This was really special. Thank you.
I have enjoyed it very much, Topher. I'm quite interested in what you're doing. And it's afterstillstanding.com.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just kind of interested to see what other people have to say about their communities.
Yeah. Yep.
And
cool.
I think
let you know.
I think the episode is Still Standing certainly helped energize us and give us a little lift to carry on bravely.